welcome back to Ridgeback Creations. As you can see, we're doing things a little bit more different today. We're actually going to have a room tour of me and Max's bedroom slash YouTube room. And a little disclaimer before we begin, I do have some taxidermy snakes in my room. So if you're not fond of watching dead animals or you're afraid of snakes, I suggest you click away now. But for the rest of you, let's get started. Okay, so first of all, we're starting with the most boring part of our room, which is our bed. Usually we just flip it up against the wall while we do our YouTube videos, because then we need the room for the tripod and Max to stand here, and then I do the creations in the middle of the room. On the side of the bed, I do have some Harry Potter collectibles, the paper ones, the Mordor's map, proclamations from Umbridge, etc. And I do have the original Order of the Phoenix picture alongside some old family photos of my family and my cat, and some Hakuna Matata, because you know you always need that in your life. At the back of the bed we do have some old snake prints that I love very much, and I just got them framed and I think they look really well above the bed. So moving on from the bed area of the room, we have our door, and it's now covered with a lot of my small purses and necklaces and stuff. I'm hanging it on the hooks I made a couple of weeks ago. And in the window, we're just storing our sunglasses, watches, small pins, and miscellaneous items really. In the bench underneath, we're just storing a lot more miscellaneous stuff. Usually end up tossing our phones there and our purses. So over our bench, I do have a huge snake. It's one of those educational paper things that you have in the classrooms back in the day. And on the side here, I have one of my favorite purses, which is the 9 3/4 King's Cross purse. So in this window, we just really have some small collectibles and small memorabilia from different events and things. And we do have some of our small projects that we made in the beginning of Ridgeback. So moving down from the window, here I have one of my snakes. I got this one and a similar one from one of my best friends in a birthday present, and I just love the way it looks. Here I have some of my earrings that are ready to go that I use often. And here I have a lot of rocks and shells from different countries that we have visited, and I just like to collect them in boxes and put them on display as small memorabilia. Over on the other side, I have my platform 9 3/4 ticket that I got at my first visit to King's Cross and to the Harry Potter store there. Here I have a little platypus that I think my mom bought way before I was born. I don't remember, but I just find it so cute that I stole it. So moving down from the shelf and going down, I have a huge shell here. I love to collect shells and gemstones. So here I have a lot of my gemstones that I like to keep on display, just so I don't just put them in the drawer and forget about them. In the back I have some more shells and some sea urchins and a coral. Here I have the other book stand, and it's keeping a lot of what looks like books, but it's actually a lot of PlayStation games and computer games that I've just hidden in some covers just to make it look a lot nicer. On the front of the book stand, I have a picture of my grandfather's grandma and my grandpa, and I just love how they look, and I like to keep my family close by having a lot of pictures of them. To the opposite side of the room, at the end of our bed, I do have a birdcage here. I don't really know what to use it for yet, but I just loved it when I saw it at a flea market. So behind our birdcage here, we have a ladder that we just hang random socks, you know, if a random house elf comes by, and a little bit of a nautical theme here as well. Over at the wall we have some of my necklaces and a lot of our hair bands, because we both use a lot of hair bands and we need one specific spot for them, or else they're going to end up everywhere. Underneath we have our couch that we relax on in the evening, where we watch movies and just chill out. So over our sofa next to the mirror we have a lot of my family photos of some old ancestors. And some of them are of my grandma and my grandpa, and a little baby photo of my dad. And over in the corner I have my gramophone. It's actually an electrical gramophone, so I can play both LPs, radio, CD, cassettes, you name it, and MP3. So I have a lot of options with my gramophone. And over the gramophone, I have a picture of cleft lip palette chart that is old as well, that I got in London. So here we have our TV, and at the side of our TV we have some of my lip scrubs and lip balms. I have a slight addiction when it comes to lip stuff. And we have a speaker that I use all the time because I love good quality sound on music. On the right side of our TV we have the mirror of Erised, which you can look at yourself while watching TV, but that was the only place that we had room for it. On the underside of our TV we have our DVD VHS player. Yes, we're still using VHS, at least I am. I'm old-fashioned like that. And underneath that we have all my Lush, because I have a slight Lush addiction. And for you who don't know what Lush is, it's just soap and bath bombs and, you know, shampoo and all that stuff. Above the TV I have a lamp on the wall, which some of my previous DIYs hang. And over that I have a artwork of Cliff Wallace hanging above it. So next to that I have an old drawer from a printing press that I borrowed from my mom, so it's not technically mine. Above all that I have a pair of skates that was made locally at a factory back here in, I think it was in the 1920s. Next to the printer press drawer I have the Ilops Emporium artwork from Mina Lima. It's one of my favorite pieces in our entire room and I just love it with all my heart. Underneath that I have two pictures of Max, one when we are walking in the forest during winter time, and one of the times that we were visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter together at the studios in England. Additionally, I have a stupid drawing of my snail. I love my snail, but I decided to make a fun drawing of him, so that is Grindelwald in his former attire. So underneath all the pictures I have a salt and pepper bird in silver. I just thought they're cute, so I just put them there. And the cupboard it's standing on has a lot of my collection figures from Finding Nemo and a couple from Disney and a cute little one from Wall-E. So in front of all my figures in this cupboard I have the Sorting Hat chocolate box that I made a couple of weeks ago, and I have the Niffler that a lot of you seem to be very fond of. So he's just chilling there in front of all the other figures, and yes, he is full of money because he is my piggy bank after all. In the back here I have a lot of Mina Lima's designs on chocolate boxes and candy boxes from Harry Potter, and I do have a little homemade pygmy puff because we all need a pygmy puff in our lives. Additionally, I have two of my skulls that me and Max bought in Mexico when we were celebrating Christmas there last year with one of our best friends. And yeah, just in general, a lot of chocolate frogs. I like to collect all the cards. I'm just missing one. Damn you, Helga Hufflepuff. At the top here, I have one of my other taxidermy snakes. And it is in this huge glass box. And I actually traveled with it like this on an airplane, which was a challenge, but I managed. So, and over the snake I have an old viola that I bought at an antique market. So lastly in this corner I have another chocolate frog and the Fantastic Beasts book. I got a new notebook from Fantastic Beasts, and I got the graphic art book from Mina Lima, and I just love it. I even got it signed by Mina, so I greatly appreciate that. And I have one of the old Harry Potter film magic books underneath there. So the last thing in our room is this huge red cabinet, and it has a lot of stuff in it and on the top. So on the top of the cabinet I have the Witch King that my friend made. She's an amazing artist. And on the side of it I have a snake skin, another snake, and then I have a little kiwi bird metal figure and a little crystal bowl that I can have terrariums in it, but I don't have one right now. And lastly I have a huge star that me and Max bought in San Miguel in Mexico last year that I brought on the airplane back home. Max loves when I buy crazy shit on the other side of the earth, but he managed to live with me anyways. So moving to the inside of the cabinet, on the top level I have a lot of my wands displayed. Additionally, I have another snake that is from the same best friend that I got the other one. And I have a little snake here on some alcohol. I have one of the Horcruxes, the ring right here, and I have the time turner here. I additionally have some shells and some nautical things, a birdcage, some Harry Potter lookalike glasses that I got at a flea market. So additionally in this cabinet I have some skulls and bones, and I have some cool looking rocks from Iceland. That is pretty much it for the top shelf. I have a hotel bell, because why not? Moving on to the shelf underneath. In the back here I have the full life circle of a butterfly, from egg to a fully grown insect. So in front of the butterflies I have Dumbledore's drinking cup from when he is in the cave with Harry and is being super sad. In front of that I have his Illuminator and another prop that I bought, because I buy a lot of props. I don't just make them myself. I have Dumbledore's glasses right here that I also found in a flea market, because he suddenly got perfect eyesight, so I didn't need them anymore. Behind the crystal I have some fake coral and a cute little star that is from San Miguel as well. Some more stuff in this cabinet. I have a little snake in the corner that is on a bottle. It got killed by a cat, so you can see the cat scratches on the side of it. I have an old weight, and I have a half of a Nautilus, and I got a copy of a seahorse. It's not a real one. And perhaps one of my favorite things in this entire cabinet is this French perfume egg. It's made out of mother of pearl, and it has 2 small bottles of perfume on the inside, and it's just an amazing piece of art in my opinion. And when I bought this I got it with the dome and the tablecloth underneath, and I think it is from the 1700s, which means it's really old. So in this section I have a copy of a human skull. I bought it in the Czech Republic when I was there in 2011. And the skull is standing on a really old book. It's from 1747, so it's quite an old book, and it's about geography in Europe. So it's pretty outdated, and a lot of the countries is not like they used to be in this book back in the 1700s. So next to that I have one of my cameras. I like to collect old cameras because I like the mechanics and how they work. I have some kitchen equipment that is old as well. Then I have some theater binoculars on my radio, and one of them is belonging to my, I think it is great-great-great-grandma if I'm not mistaken. Then they are standing on a old radio that my dad had in his bedroom when he was a kid. So that is pretty much it on this section. Like I said, I have a lot of random things. So lastly on this section I have a deer skull, and one of my favorite things is this baby skull replica sculpture that one of my friends made. She's an amazing artist. And yeah, I have a lot of great friends that are really artistic, and I just appreciate their work a lot. So for the last shelf here, most of the things are from Guatemala. I visited Guatemala 2 times now, and I really want to go back several times. It's such a beautiful, colorful, and cultural rich country. The same goes for Mexico. I really want to go back there as well. So this is from Mexico, from Veracruz again. And the chopsticks in front are from China. My parents visited China in 2008, so I got that as a present. The teapot and cup is inspired by Guatemala. It's made by an artist that lives here where we live, and she's just amazing. So that is pretty much it for the last shelf. There's a lot of different things from different areas and regions of Guatemala spread out all over. So I hope you enjoy that. So that is pretty much the entire room tour. If I have forgotten something, I am sorry. We just redecorated the room, and a lot of stuff have changed spots since our previous videos. The reason is because we're actually moving in a couple of months. We are moving to England, and the room is going to stay as a guest room since this is my parents' house. But I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.